Saira, you came. Thanks. I thought it was fitting for the occasion. Impressive, isn't it? From here it all seems so peaceful. As if there'd be no enemy army just in front of our gates.
Well,
as if all this, the cycle, the high ones, the Naramis, were just imagination. So am I. I wanted... Do you want to hear something funny? The two of us, even though we haven't known each other for that long, we've been through a lot. We underwent the Sigil's trial, we fought our way through ancient ruins, and we found the forgotten home of the Star People. I'd say we make for quite an unusual couple, right? But still, what I'd like to ask of you tonight, I'm ashamed to. It seems so out of place, so mundane. Just follow me. I'll tell you when we get there.
Walk blessed.
It's not as if I didn't tell them that already. We always go too easy on this gun. My sir?
Monsieur?
Oi, you there. Don't look at me like that. Looking for trouble, eh?
The Nighthawks. They're a small minstrel group from Duneville, and they came here to play despite the situation. I guess I always have. I've just never permitted myself to enjoy it before. It seemed so useless. But then I realized there's a point where you've done everything you can. And be honest, Sierra, we don't know what the next few days or even hours will bring us. We could die. And if that should happen, I want to be able to say, yes, Kalia, you gave your life for something meaningful. You pursued your ideals until the very end. But despite all that, you didn't forget to just let go from time to time. You didn't forget to live, or to love. You may, and it means a lot to me. So, Saira, let's dance together. For tonight, let's just forget about everything else. The high ones, the cleansing, all the things we've had to see. Screw it.
Is it important?
Beautiful and proud, the ruler of the Undercity, Vatira was her name. She was feared and desired. Beggars, thieves, and murderers were falling at her feet. As mistress of the castaway, she was worshipped and revered. Vintage wine and silken clothes, jewelry and song of gods.
The best wine in all of Enderal. Come,
Come,
give it a try.
Bright deceit and robbery, no means to vile or fall for her. The art of crime she mastered like no one ever had. Beautiful and proud, the ruler of the Undercity. When the night closed in, she stayed sleepless until dawn. Many
Oh, well.
turned a beast, they visited her chamber. Anyone who quaffed and knew no shame could join her feast. Her heart was empty, cold and sore, yet she craved for more and more. So little virtue left in her and nothing left to lose. No matter who attended her, she raised her chalice in the air. Anyone could feel it, her thirst will never cease. Beautiful and proud,
This is madness.
ruler of the Undercity, her sinful womb bore fruit, and horror grew along.
Greeting.
Potatoes, garlic,
Fine mint.
yeah, that should be it.
This is madness all over. Walk west. A penny, my son. Please, just one penny.
Woman thinks she's Fatira incarnate.
Hello, handsome.
Oculus, my sir, please. Oh.
Keep walking.
There you are. Very well. Nice place, isn't it? While the Neramis are in front of our gates, the people down here are bashing each other's heads in, and the crowd is cheering them on. Possibly. Be that as it may, I finished reconstructing the Planeswalker. It was expensive and arduous, but the result turned out better than expected. In a safe place. Come along.
Keep walking. Bloody vermin. All of them.
What? That's all you got? Come on.
Should have placed my money on the Eterna.
Move along.
Bloody rats. Eating the last penny right out your pocket.
After all these centuries, it's just plain crazy.
What do you want? To cock at me? Just leave. Please.
They come creeping from every corner down here, don't they? Either way, here it is. The Planeswalker. Your knowledge of geometrical shapes is truly impressive. No, it's more than a cube. You'll see. Correct. But in order for it to do that, we need to activate it first. See those 3 crystal fragments worked into the casing? Well observed. Essentially, the Planeswalker creates a distortion in reality. Imagine the following. When you cast a fireball, this fireball is coming from another eventuality, correct? Accelerated heat you conjure right into your fingertips. While you're doing this, there's a brief moment in time where the door between this eventuality and our world stands ajar. Good. The problem is that this rift normally exists for only a split second. And this is where the Planeswalker comes into play. It maintains the rift the moment we create it. Yes. I will cast the spell, but I will need to borrow from your strength. You'll see why. No more than any advanced spell, but I have ambrosia with me, so fever shouldn't be a problem. In a moment. Once the rift is open, we'll only have a limited amount of time, so 3 things in advance. First of all, according to Dalmaric, planeswalking is extremely dangerous. Well, he thinks that an eventuality recognizes irregularities after a certain amount of time, and corrects them. In other words, massive arcane fever and a brain hemorrhage. So we'll have very little time over there. Secondly, the further an eventuality is located from our strand, the less time we can stay in it. Realities in which Vin doesn't even exist would correct us the moment we step through the rift. I doubt it. Trying to counteract an eventuality with ambrosia is probably as helpful as putting a warm compress around your neck after someone has decapitated you. How should I know? One would have to experiment to find that out, and considering what's at stake, I think that's a bad idea. Well, let me put it this way. I'd actually prefer to go through the rift by myself, but knowing you, I doubt you'd stay behind. But, and this is important, once we're there, please don't follow me. Look around, explore the area, do whatever you feel like doing, but let me carry out my task in peace. Please. It involves a person who was once very important to me. Are you satisfied, or do I need to pour out my whole heart to you? Good, then let's waste no more time, shall we? Here, take this and cast it at my command. Do it from... wait. Yes, from over there. Let's begin. It worked. By the name of the sun. It worked. It actually worked. Hira, the Siras Islands, a few miles from the shore near Al Rashim. You feel it too, don't you? The fever? It is. It must be the eventuality trying to correct us, just as Dalmaric said it would. In other words, the clock is ticking. One close to our strand, yes. Another version of Vin. Forgive me. Frankly, I had doubts until the very end whether this would really work. All this, it's incredible. Look for someone. Prophet, thank you. I know I'm not the easiest person to get along with, but this, it means a lot to me. Give me 10 minutes, will you? Take a look around. Do what you will. But be careful. Yes, you will.
I liked it. What do you think, love?
It was magnificent. We'll make a great bard out of you yet.
Really?
Really. And you know what? Because you did so well, I'll tell you a secret.
What is it?
It's a secret, so I can only tell you and not Mommy. Come over here and I'll tell you.
Hey, that's not fair.
Nothing in the world is fair, love. So, Princess, what do you say?
Okay.
Just a little closer.
The secret is...
The tickle monster is hungry again!
You too. Do you want to know another secret? The little princess is way past her bedtime already, and she knows it. Because I have told her before.
Alright, I'm going.
Look how she's grown. Time really does fly, doesn't it?
No argument there. I'll finish the letter, okay? You go upstairs and get some sleep. You've earned it.
Okay. Don't be too long, alright?
Don't worry, I won't. Hey, I love you.
I love you too, Naya. You just had to do it, didn't you? Well observed. Yes. Yes, I do. Huh? I'm afraid I've changed my mind. I'm staying. Tell me something I don't know. My daughter, and my wife, Naya. The man that world out there made me into. I never wanted to be like him. All I wanted was to live a normal life, like the Juzlan of this world gets to. But that's just the way of things. A world that doesn't care what you want. It decides. We endure. Oh, don't even bother. I have made up my mind. Spare me the pathos. The dead are dead, and what they would have wanted is irrelevant. Though it might amuse you to know that, until recently, I would have agreed with you. But that was before I saw this. It opened my eyes. And you'll have to force me. You can't. Naya, did you hear that? It... never mind. Probably just the wind. I'm sorry. I don't know what got into me. Yes, so am I. The house, their voices, it was simply too much to bear. I must ask your forgiveness. Of course I did. I don't know. Maybe I thought it would help me to see them, provide closure. Or maybe it was just the desire to see what might have been, as painful as it was. You've also lost people. Wouldn't you have done the same? If you actually believe that, then I envy you. I do not want to talk about it. You've learned much about me in these past few hours. Leave me this last bit of privacy as a refuge. Good question. But now that I have done what I set out to do, I will tell the Grand Master and the Archmagister about it. Maybe they can put it to good use. Though, frankly, I doubt it. The ether crystal has lost its power, and it'll be next to impossible to find a new one in the little time we have left at our disposal. And even if Heranthiel can get his hands on another one, the correction happens far too fast for us to gain worthwhile information about the cycle from other realities. But I'll leave the choice to him. I am grateful that you saved me. Now that I'm back here, I know that staying would have been the wrong choice. Still, I don't regret doing what we did. It showed me something. I believe that concludes our business, does it not? Thank you again. Here, this is the least I can give you for your efforts. I will see you back at the temple. There's a lot that needs doing.
Please, just leave me be.
A Sunchild, I bet you came to watch those fools cut their guts open in the dust pit. Well, that's the only reason you snobs ever come down. Flank him! No! Oh, shit!
find it?
Yes, here. But be careful, okay? Magister Ragon will have us float alive if we lose it.
I will. Don't worry. Did you hear the news?
It's just madness. All of it. Huh, the notorious prodigy. I was told you know a lot about swordplay. I'd love to see if there's an... truth to that.
Well, it doesn't help to just close our eyes and pretend nothing ever happened. Even the Arcanist says.
Huh?
This is just... You just wait and see.
The fabled
Shit,
prodigy.
smell.
I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
Now, isn't this a surprise? The world's nearing its end, yet the Prophet takes the time to pay me a visit. What do you need? It does what most injuries do. Hurts. But I'm a lot better, thanks for asking. Truth be told, just lying around here doing nothing's what's bothering me the most at the moment. Oh my, you make it sound so dramatic. I don't think this will be the end, though. Say what you want about this place, but it'll be a long time before Korak's men break through. The apothecarius said I might even be able to help if I rest for just a few more hours. Just be careful, all right? And find the Numinos.
Prophet?
Transcribe verse 80 100 times.
Blazes, it's dark already? Time really does fly by.
This is madness, all of it.
That's beyond me. Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah, Prophet. Yes. Koarek will not dare sending his troops straight against our walls. That would be tactical suicide. For now, we are safe. However, The red madness is getting worse by the minute. The cleansing is closing in. I can feel it. You know, I know Natara better than you might believe. And I know the reason for her untouchable demeanor. Fear. She's afraid of losing something important to her. Something that she helped to create, and that is the Order. You probably do not know this, but unlike most keepers, Natara was not born of the Sublime Path. Even more than us, she had to fight for her place here. And through immense willpower and discipline, she made it. Not only to become an ordinary keeper, but into the highest league. Correct. It is all she has ever lived for, and she's afraid that change will destroy it. Your admission into our ranks, our truce with Narazul's mages. She believes that my imprisonment made me into a fool whose only intent is to get his will. She does not realize that all that has happened burdens me as much as it burdens her. And that I would give a lot for her support, rather than this ridiculous bickering. That's none of your concern, but I presume you have your assumptions. Everybody needs someone to back them up from time to time. You know, as humans, we are not so different from animals as some try to make us believe. We are like wolves, and every pack needs a leader. Someone in front who is not afraid to make the hard calls. And this is who I am. I did not ask for it, but I will not fail. If my resolve weakens, the others will lose their courage, and I cannot let that happen. But that does not mean that I regret any of the decisions I have made. None of them.
Huh, the notorious prodigy. I was...
And so the circle closes, as it does for these 3 virtuous souls we are mourning today. But fear not, for they gave their life for a just cause, for the greater good, and will thus be walking on the endless paths forever, together with our Lord Malthus. Magistra Jaela, keeper of the 3rd sigil and master of the archives.
Oh, you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent.
And Legium Lightman,
my sir.
May the Lord receive your souls today and grant you that you may walk the paths for eternity.
Oh, just shut up, won't you? As if you believe any of this yourself.
Keeper, you...
Malthus is dead. Our Lord is dead. And if even he could not last through the ages, how is he supposed to lead us along the eternal paths? A dead god?
Take her away.
Yes, just go on. Close your eyes and pretend that none of this is happening. It's what you've always been good at. The cleansing is our punishment, don't you see? The punishment because we failed the Lightborn. That we let someone kill them. And the High Ones will take us all. Do you hear me? They will take us all.
Keep going.
But...
Keep going!
Magistra Jailer, Keeper of the Third Sigil and Master of the Archives. Stalwyn Willowsong, Keeper of the First Sigil. And Legium Lightman Novice. May the Lord receive your souls today and grant you that you may walk the paths for eternity.
Some shifts never end.
Still on the road at this hour of day? I think I have just what you need. A flight right to the next inn. Hello. Good to hear. Where to?
You, I don't want to be nosy, but is it true you were...
What?
You. I heard you passed the trial without going to the novitiate. Congratulations, I guess.
What?
Have you heard? Apparently the Blue Islands Coalition sent an emissary here to Enderal. Despite the wars, they are bold.
Suffered hunger, fear, and misery.
You. Good to see you.
Saira, it's good to see you. So, are you ready? The Grandmaster said by tonight Sharim should have deciphered the old maps. Alright then, let's wait until nightfall. Go on ahead, I'll follow.
Prophet, there's good news. We were able to decipher the Starling's maps, and we now know where to find the City of 1,000 Floods. Sharon was just about to explain. Sharon?
Yes. I suppose you already know that Vin hasn't always been like it is now. In the time of the Pyreans, it was one big continent, which they called Pangora. Only the Starfall, in the era of Azataron's madness, split it apart. In other words, the Pyreans dominated the entire world as it was back then. It was a world empire. However, until recently, we always thought that the Empire's capital, the City of 1,000 Floods, was situated somewhere near where Kira is today. We were wrong about that. It was here, in Enderal.
Here?
Here, beneath our feet, to be precise.
Under Ark?
Yes. We don't know whether it was a coincidence that Malfa's vassals set the foundation of Ark here, out of all the places they could have. But they did. The heart of the Pyrean Empire was here, right where we stand. Only it's buried now. Hardly.
Sadly, the Order never cared much for archaeology. We considered it a useless endeavor. And even if there had been private undertakings, the dangers such an expedition posed, let alone its costs, would have scared off most investors.
But still, you're right. If the Order would have bothered, we could have saved ourselves a lot of trouble. However, it doesn't matter now. What matters is we now know where the last cleansing took place, and that it's somewhere we can reach. True, but there might be another way. Do you know the myth of the Black Guardian? The Endralians believe that there is some kind of demon deep down below the surface, and that you can even hear him scream if you just listen carefully. Rubbish, of course, but I think that these screams are the sound of wind. And if there's wind...
There are tunnels. So are you suggesting that the Undercity's cavern reaches that deep? Into the City of Floods?
Into what is left of it. All we need to do is find an entrance point that can lead us down.
Then we leave without further delay. There's no point in leading an army down there, so the four of us will go alone. Prophet, speak to the Archmagister and tell him to give you the word of the dead and the container for the Numinos. We will need both. He's at the beacon.
Shouldn't we at least think this through before we go?
Ready your equipment. We'll meet at the gate to the Undercity.
Walk blessed.
Oh, aren't you... Never mind. How can I help you? He was. But he went to get something. Why don't you wait until he comes back? I have to admit that it's a great honor to finally meet you in person. You know, when all this started, when the Grand Master exalted you, I thought it was a sin. Granting an Outlander what we have to fight so hard for. But now... Phew! I think Malthus, or whoever sent you, that he did. We owe you a lot. Really. Oh, don't thank me. Say... may I ask you something? The beacon. Do you really think it'll work? I mean, I'm just a novice, but... if it can really banish the High Ones, how come the Pyreans couldn't save themselves? I just don't understand. If you say so. You know, I lost someone not too long ago. It was the Naramis, under the command of that butcher Korik. My family has a small farm near the coast, and when the first of the Naramis ships landed, I immediately rode to them, to get them into the city, into safety. I'm sorry. This isn't easy. Our farm. It's on a small cliff near the farmer's coast. Just a few miles from Ark. I already had a bad feeling when I set out. And then I saw the smoke. And then there was that smell. And... the smell of burnt meat. It was everywhere. I rode faster and faster, and then, when I got to the house, I saw that it was on fire, and that someone had put up 3 crosses, and they were burning too. My mother, my father, and my sister, they were still alive, you know? And I just stood there, and there was nothing I could do. Do you understand? Nothing. And it doesn't matter how I try to look at it. It all amounts to one thing. I was too weak. I was too late, and I was too weak. That wouldn't have happened to you, would it? You would have done something. You would have saved them. Just as you'll save us. If I could just be more like you, then Your flesh. Yes, that's it. All I need is a piece of your flesh, and nothing like that will ever happen again. Why? Is that so hard to understand? I don't want much, just a small piece of it. But you just don't want to share, isn't that it? You want it all for yourself. Because you're vain. And in all your damn vanity, you don't even see the futility of the whole thing. The beacon won't burn. It never will. Thousands have tried it before you. Thousands who are as arrogant as you are. And they all failed.
How did they say? Just let yourself fall. Because the light will burn you. It will devour you. Until there's nothing left of it. Nothing but burnt flesh.
Nice and crisp. You're familiar with that, aren't you? Prophet.
By Malthus.
to stop. By the name of the sun, they were possessed. How is that possible? I thought the sigil stone protects us. Oh, of course. Wait. The damage is within acceptable limits. Nothing we shouldn't be able to repair. But wait, what is that noise? Oh, by the righteous path. I think you should see this.
What in blazes happened here? And what is that noise?
The Neramis. They are in the city. Their entire army.
What? No. This is impossible. This is impossible! And this? What's the meaning of this bloodbath?
I don't know, Grandmaster. The High Ones somehow were able to possess the Keepers here. They tried to destroy the beacon and kill the Prodigy.
What? But the stone, we...
Grandmaster, you have to see this.
What? That the Neramis are in the city? I know that already.
No, we know how they did it. The true Chessa betrayed us.
Nonsense.
It's the truth. She and almost a third of the Keepers followed Bartar's example. Come, you should hear it for yourself. I ordered that the temple gates be closed right away and positioned archers on the battlements. At least for now, none of these Neramis bastards will enter the temple.
Well done.
There. She survived. Open your eyes, traitor.
What? Hi, Grandmaster. I am so sorry. It shouldn't have happened like that. Oh, my mouth is... What have I done?
Tell us what happened.
Of course, Grandmaster. I will. The Trechessa, she contacted Korak and asked for...
Relax. She's bleeding to death, Grandmaster. We need to get her into the curarium.
We will, once we're done. Continue. The Trechessa arranged a meeting with Korak. What did she want from him?
A truce. She offered him the city. If he would promise not to harm anyone. She had this stone. You know, this sigil stone that protects us Keepers from the High Ones. Korak, he agreed. But once the gates were open, he...
killed everyone.
Yes, the Trechessa. He just... Even though she kept her end of the bargain. Then they swarmed into the city and... Oh, my Malphas, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Take her to the Corarium.
Yes, yes, of course, Grandmaster. Lirum, Yetta, bring me a stretcher.
Wait. You have to forgive me. I mean, we only wanted the best. You have to believe me. Please don't let me die as a pathless. Please.
I forgive you. Now go.
Yes. Yes, of course, Grandmaster.
What are your orders, Grandmaster? We aren't many, but if we use cunning, we might be able to drive them back out of...
We will not. We are no more than 6 up here, and the Narimes are thousands. And both our black powder and our boiling oil are in the barracks.
Then it's over. We've lost.
What? No! Nothing is over! They can't be that far into the city yet. We only have to drive them out of the gates, and then...
And how exactly are you planning to do that? By loading the cannons with sugar mint and shooting balls of herbs at the Narames? Great idea, really.
You sodding!
Quiet! Narajil and Sharim are right, Commander. Ark is lost. But our war against the High Ones isn't. The beacon still stands, and it will continue to do so as long as we hold the temple. We've lost the battle, yes, but not the war. All we need is the Numenars, and then the beacon will be lit.
And what then? I don't think Korek will withdraw once we've destroyed his vision of this ascent.
Correct, he won't. Which is why we will surrender.
What?
It is the only way. As I said to the Chichesa before, this war is about more than just us. If we choose to give up now, or if we choose to fight and die down there, Korek will destroy the beacon either way and let the cleansing happen. We will prevent that at all costs. Which is why we will find the Numenars, light the beacon, and then surrender.
But Quark will kill us all.
Yes, he will. We will die, but there is no alternative. Korek isn't man enough to participate in the battle himself. So even if he were to break out and fight, all we would do is kill his delusional soldiers. And their deaths would be as pointless as this entire war. Once the High Ones are vanquished, we've done our duty. That's it.
But no! We are warriors, and true warriors fight! You've said that!
True warriors ask questions. Like the question, when does a battle for ideals become nothing more than a battle for vanity? Those soldiers down there, Commander, they are nothing more than butchers. But we are more than that. But I will not stop you. As soon as the beacon is lit, you are free to flee. But for now, you will hold this place at all costs while we search for the Numenars. Archmagister, do you have the word of the dead?
I do, yes. But how do you plan to get into the Undercity from here? The entire city is swarming with Korex's soldiers.
Leave that to me. Commander Aaron, gather the remaining keepers and arcanists. I will address them. You all know what has happened. We were betrayed by our own brothers and sisters. As we speak, people are dying, slaughtered by the Narames, who think we are their enemy. And I know what you are feeling right now. Anger. Anger aimed at those in our ranks who did this to us. But you're wrong. Despite their deed, they wanted to protect us, to fulfill their holy duty. And the same applies to Koarek and his soldiers. Yes, they are deluded. Yes, they have committed crimes past redemption, but they, too, only did what they thought was right. If there is someone to blame in all this, it's the High Ones, and no one else. They, brothers and sisters, they are the ones responsible. They have no mind, no compassion, no soul, and their only reason for existing is to destroy. They are cowards who act out of the shadows and play us against each other like puppets on strings. And right now, they think they have won. They think they can defeat us. But they will fail, because we are still here. We have the beacon, the only thing capable of stopping all this madness, and that is exactly what we're going to do. After that, you are free to go. Flee, fight, do whatever you think is best. I myself will surrender, because every drop of blood spilled after we have done our duty and destroyed the High Ones is useless. And even if the Naramis kill me, my death will be a sign. A sign that people like Koarek will never understand. Hatred breeds hatred. This is what history has taught us, and this is what makes the High Ones strong. Stand by me when the time comes, or go. But until then, fight.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Huh?
Wherever you look, where is this
This
supposed
just
to
doesn't
lead?
make any sense. Why can't it ever be easy?
It's just madness, all of it. Oh.
Yes?
And there she goes. 4,000 years this city has stood. And now she is aflame. It is a tragedy. There is another way. I suppose you already know that the Order was never proud of the fact that something like the Undercity exists. And maybe you also know that we and the Relata had an informal agreement. They rule the underground and we rule the surface. In reality, however, this is only half the truth. We never handed over the reins entirely. There is a plan B in case things get out of control and the Undercity's inhabitants revolt, like they did once during the Blood Moon riots.
Probably. I will make it short.
There's a set of tunnels throughout the King's Mountain on which this temple was built, and they lead all the way down into the Undercity. They were built to release poison gas into the entire cave system. It would have been an option. With the gates to the surface barred, no one would have survived. Down and back up again, yes. The Nerimes do not know about these tunnels, and when they find out, it will be too late. We descend, we find the Numenors in the City of Floods, and we light the beacon. After that, you know what I will do. There is a way into the tunnels through the dungeons of this temple. Meet me and Sharim there once you're ready to depart. And bring your beloved with you. Prepare yourself. We will meet in the dungeon.
I can't believe Sigil Berabatar betrayed us. Not him.
Saira. No, and so unnecessary. Rampaging through the streets, slaughtering innocents, yet they still think they're doing the right thing. Sad, isn't it? Anyway, no point in worrying about it now, I guess. What did he say? How is he planning to get us down into the Undercity? So a system designed for genocide turns out to be our path to salvation. If fate has anything, it is a sense of humor. Anyway, there is one thing I wanted to ask you before we set out. If things happen as Aranthiel thinks they will you surrender to Quarak? Yes, especially with all that. I'm glad you see it that way. Let's wait and see what happens. Maybe there will be a way to flee through the tunnels once we've lit the beacon. There has to be. I'll go meet up with Sharim and the Grandmaster. I'll see you there.
This is madness, all of it.
Poison gas tunnels. There's one thing the Holy Order has always been, it's creative. My respect for that, Enderal.
They're here. One moment.
Interesting. If I may ask, Grandmaster, how does that work?
It's a sigil, and it can only be opened by one bearing the Grandmaster's sword. Follow me. In case you were wondering, those three water gates up there contain the Starling machinery which releases the poison gas. As long as we do not open them, we can pass safely through the tunnels.
So, this tunnel system, how many exit points does it have? I assume that a single exit into the Undercity wouldn't have sufficed to poison it all by itself, would it?
No. There are a total of 8 exits. And we will be using the one that leads into the Crow District. According to Maragil, we should be able to find a suitable entrance point into the old depths from there.
Get ready.
That was all of them. Prepare yourself.
Pathetic. Here we are. Lead the way. You know this area better than we do. What a waste of time. We will transform this world. We will stop Prophet.
Is that so? And the radiant being which was Malthus turned away and extended its arms towards the sky, and thousands of lightning bolts crashed down onto the wretched city, destroying everything, even the shadows. All you got! It's like the bites of a snake. Let it go, Friar. They've already passed judgment.
This is the place. Sharim.
Yes, take cover.
Impressive.
Entropy.
Lead the way, Prophet. You know what we are looking for.
Saira, you look pale. It was the echo again, wasn't it? Stronger.
That might be because we're getting closer to where the last cleansing happened. If we just follow the visions, they might lead us directly to the temple, and thus to their version of the beacon.
Kirash. That isn't...
The High Ones. They're trying to prevent us. They will not stop us. Never! Was a waste of time.
city of 1,000 floods. The name of the sun. It's so beautiful.
And dangerous. Come, we need to get down there.